Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Today, which is January 12th, 2025, I had the opportunity to interview Becky Patty, the grandmother of Liberty German and the actual caretaker of Liberty German and Kelsey during that time. And she came on, and at one point she discussed the actual 43-second video of Richard Allen, aka Bridge Guy, approaching the girls at the southeast end of the bridge. Now, the way it worked out is after Richard Allen started following the girls, I believe, this is just my opinion, the girls were somewhere around in this area here after passing platform 3 and maybe even getting past 4. That's when Richard Allen made his move from out of the woods over here after kind of standing back here to get a view to see this direction and that direction to make sure nobody was coming. And then once the girls were far enough across, he made his move and he quickly walked across. You can get across in three and a half minutes if you're hustling. Abby was very unsure of herself on the bridge and was walking kind of slowly, and he caught up to them. And at this end of the bridge, the video where you see 2 seconds of Bridge Guy is right here, about, it's like 58, 60 feet from the end of the bridge. Right in this area is when you can finally see the Bridge Guy. And Abby's actually, according to Holman, in front of the Bridge Guy on the bridge. And that means Libby is filming off the end of the bridge, and they're directly in line. And then as Abby nears the end of the bridge, kind of veers off, and that's when you get to see the clear 2 seconds. And then Libby puts the phone down next to her side to I guess to hide the fact that she had a phone, and it's filming the ground. And you see, according to Becky, Abby's feet going off, and then eventually just 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds later, when the Bridge Guy got to the end of the bridge, Richard Allen, you can hear his feet crunching off the end, and then that's where you hear guys and down the hill, etc. Okay, so this is where all of that happened, right here. Libby was standing off the end of the bridge. Abby was still on the bridge, and then makes it off the end of the bridge. And right around that time is when we see those 2 seconds, and he's only about 60 feet away, 55, 60 feet away. Then you see Abby's feet go by, and then just like 7 seconds later or so, the Bridge Guy, aka Richard Allen, comes off the end of the bridge. All right, so I'm going to play here in a moment the 2 second footage over and over again. I made a loop where I stabilize the image of the Bridge Guy and keep him keep the platform in the background stabilized. And I did this years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's an image and video that I use quite often. And then after that, I'm going to play the animation that I made, and then we'll listen to Becky's description of the animation directly after that. Okay, so let's get started on that right now.
Guys, downhill. Guys, downhill. Guys, downhill.
Hey, now that the trial's over, can you tell us exactly what was in the 43-second video? That now that you've watched it again, sort of recently, can you just sort of visually explain what we're seeing? Can you do that?
Libby was off of the bridge and just over to the side. She was videoing Abby. You can see her coming, and then you see Libby. She takes her phone and puts it down by her side. It's like she was trying to hide it, and she's standing there. And then Abby, you can see because she's got the phone down, facing down at the gravel. And Abby comes running. You can see her feet, her legs. She runs in front of Libby, and that's when you kind of hear her talk about is that guy still back there, and then Libby's walking around a little bit there, and she's just talking to Abby, saying, this is the end of the trail. There's no place from here. I could tell in her voice that she was nervous. You could tell. And then you can hear him come off the bridge, kind of walk around them. And he said, "Hey, girls." And Libby said, "Hey." And that's when you hear the gun, and he says, "Go down the hill."
Wow. So when was the part where, I mean, that was really creepy listening to that. What was the part when Abby says, "Don't leave me up here"? Was that when she's still kind of like 10 or 15 feet onto the bridge, kind of something like that?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, but it may have been because there was some muffle. Because we did listen to it with headphones on, but that was years ago, and they had told us to focus on one particular area.
You back on?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. I could tell it was kind of, the connection was going a little down, but I think you were just telling us about, like we were just asking about when did Abby maybe say something like, "Don't leave me up here." She must have still been on the bridge at that point.
Yeah. I think I didn't hear anything when she was on the bridge. So it might have been as she was coming off or something.
So did Libby move back a little bit further away from the end of the bridge and maybe was thinking about going down a hill at that point on her own, and then,
No, because she said it ends here. And she said it ends here. I think they were waiting for him to come off so they could go back across.
Mm-hmm. And then when I was just talking to Holman, I think the day before yesterday, he said that like most of the time the bridge guy is actually behind Abby, and then there's just a moment where she kind of, probably right when she's getting close to Libby, because I know how that would work, it opened up a little bit of space where you could see the bridge guy just for a couple seconds smoothly, and then that's probably when she starts putting her phone down, right? Because he's only about 55, 60 feet away at that point. So then puts the phone down to her side, right? You can actually see it. Go ahead.
It didn't take him long to get off the bridge because, like I said, Abby ran across, and that's when Libby says, "Hey, the trail ends here." Well, so you're not talking more than 10 seconds, and he's there.
Right. I think that actually fits perfectly with the timing that I've got on, some of these different videos that are out there. People are walking across, and that's about what it would take. So it's like, I think right when Abby runs by, just prior to that, you could see him for 2 seconds, I would imagine, right? So that means after Abby runs by, he's already got a little bit closer, even slightly.
When Abby runs by, she's already got the phone down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. So it's even before that.
Your feet.
Oh, that's interesting. So that means that's even more. It's like 2 or 3 seconds after the image of the bridge guy that we actually saw for 2 seconds. So at that point, he'd probably only about 7 seconds more to get off the end of the bridge. Anything else about that? I mean, when you saw the original version, was it just crazy how well they were able to stabilize it on the final version?
I never saw the original. All we ever saw was
The
the
smooth, the stabilized.
because when they played the original one in there, and when we had break, I said, why didn't you play the whole thing? You didn't play the whole thing. They said, yeah, we did. I said, no, you didn't. That's not what I listened to.
Right. Oh God, here we go. Here comes the conspiracies. You started it again, man.
And they said, no, we showed you the stabilized one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it's probably the same length of time.
At the trial, they played both.
Mm-hmm. And then they play the 43 seconds of both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 43 seconds is a long time, really. You know, that's like, so that's crazy. Jeez. All right, you guys. Thank you all very much for watching. I bet you found that chilling like I did just listening to Becky's description of how that went at the end of the bridge. Absolutely terrifying for Abby and Libby. And Abby and Libby went through an absolutely horrifically terrifying situation for almost 20 minutes, if we were to believe that they were killed at 2:32. So for about 20 minutes, they were absolutely terrified. And I think that is just really, really, I mean, when you sit down and think about it, it gives you the chills. It's horrendous, all right? So leave me a comment in the comments section. Let me know what you think. I am putting out the entire full video of the interview that I had with Becky. You'll see that a little bit later today. I'll post it. And then it's unedited, really. I just took out the parts where her phone, she had to charge her phone, and I took out the part where she lost connection and then came back on, okay? So those are the parts that I edited out. I'm sorry if that makes you think that's a conspiracy, but that's just the reality, okay, everybody? So I thank you all for watching. Hit that like button and look forward to watching the full interview that I just did on a live stream, but it's mixed amongst another 2.5 hours of, or maybe another 2 hours of show, okay? So again, thanks for watching, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.